Hey, greets, it's Cameron again, and welcome back to Library Macabre, where I talk about books, movies, writing, and all things spooky. And today, we are venturing out of the library once again to go on a little road trip. So right now, I am at a Half Price Books. This is the Half Price Books in Florence, Kentucky. Now, I live in Ohio, and one of the things that has been bothering me the most is that I have visited all of the bookstores in my area. I go back to those bookstores pretty often, but I don't find as much as I used to because I've already seen it all. I've already picked up the things that I want. So lately I've been venturing out of my area a little bit more, out of my little bubble, and trying to hit up some of the bookstores around Cincinnati. There are actually a ton of half-price bookstores all around Cincinnati. So I've done that quite a few times. And if I go up a little bit further to Florence, Kentucky, there is a Half Price Books right here too. So I am here right now. I have visited this bookstore once before and I found a whole bunch of books, and it's been a few months, so hopefully they've stocked up. I am here once again at the Half Price Books in Florence, and I'm going to go inside right now and I'm going to take you along with me. We're going to see what we can find. $100. $100. $100 for a Goosebumps book. I know that book is rare. I know it goes for a bunch of money on eBay, but I did not expect to see it for such a high price at a Half Price Books. Anyway, I did get a whole bunch of stuff, and I found some really, really good deals. So it was a win overall, and I'm going to show you some of the books I got. Gotta sanitize first. I'm gonna start off with one of the coolest things I found. It's not in the best shape. It's a little bit ratty, but I think it'll look better once I put it in a Mylar dust jacket cover, and that is The Fury. This is by John Ferris. It's a first edition, first print from the 70s. Let's see when this is from exactly. 1976. The dust jacket, it looks fine. It's a little bit dirty and it's a little bit ripped in spots, but the book itself is actually in really good shape. So I picked it up. I figured for $7.99 for such an old first edition, it's probably worth it. Also, I've been looking for this for the longest time. This is The Book of Magic by Alice Hoffman. This is the fourth and final book in her Practical Magic series. I just recently collected all the other books, and I've been looking for this one. This is the newest one in the series. I've been trying to find it for not full price, and finally found one at Half Price Books here, and it's signed. I couldn't believe it. So a signed Alice Hoffman book. Yes, please. I'm so excited about this. And now we're gonna go through my big bag of books here. Found lots of like middle grade and teen vintage books. So here we have Babysitter's Club. This is number 30, Mary Ann and the Great Romance, which I thought I had, but then I checked my little spreadsheet that I used to check off all of my Babysitter's Club books. I saw that I do not own this yet. So this was only $1.99. It's a first print. It's in beautiful condition. You probably don't see these kinds of books pop up on my main channel very much. Usually I talk about these kinds of books on like my Patreon videos and stuff, but yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot of these kinds of books in this haul because I've got a lot of them. Here is my usual. This is usually what I talk about. This is called Ghosts, Ghouls, and Other Nightmares, Spooky Stories, selected by Gene Kemp. I had never seen this one before. It is totally new to me. But it's completely up my alley. It's also got some nice black and white illustrations. This is from 1995. I don't know how I didn't know about it, because that is totally something I would have read when I was a kid. I also found some Nancy Drew books that I have been needing and was very happy to find in there. These were all $1.99 each. So we have 101, The Mystery of the Missing Millionaires. Number 108, The Secret of the Tibetan Treasure, which I do own. This is more of a replacement because my other one was in really bad shape. And then also we have number 98, The Haunting of Horse Island. Any Nancy Drew books that have a haunting theme, I'm most interested in. So I was really happy to find that one. And that's not all. There's even more Nancy Drew here. I can't believe I found this much. So we have The Mystery of the Masked Rider. This is book 109. I love this cover, and I've been wanting this one for a while. Was very excited to find that. The Legend of Miners Creek, which is book 107. These are all first printings. These are all in beautiful condition, so they're going to go great with my collection. 104, Mystery of the Jade Tiger, and another replacement for me. This is book 110, The Nutcracker Ballet Mystery. I have this one, but mine is really chewed up, so I was glad to find a nice copy of that. I also found a nice little stack of Sweet Valley books. I'm always looking for more Sweet Valley. So here we have Sweet Valley Kids Super Snooper, number 6, The Case of the $1 Million Diamonds. And then this one is book number 58 in Sweet Valley Kids. This is, oh my God, look at this lighting, it's crazy. Lila's Birthday Bash. Number 93, The Incredible Madam Jessica. This is a Sweet Valley Twins. More Sweet Valley Twins and Friends. This is Booster Boycott, number 52. And number 51, Elizabeth the Impossible. Some really nice first edition Sweet Valley books to add to my ever-growing collection of Sweet Valley. I never thought I'd be collecting Sweet Valley books, but here we are. Here is Bloody Waters by B.L. Wilson. This is one that I've been looking for a while. It's a very rare horror paperback from the 80s, or maybe even the early 90s. Let me see. 1993. So it's one I've been wanting. It is pretty creased up and the spine is slanted, and it was $2.49, which is a little more than I would want to pay for a book that's so creased up. But otherwise, it's in good shape. Like the covers are in good shape, the pages are in good shape. It'll be a good reading copy until I can replace it with a better one. Next up, Underworld, Blood Enemy. This is one of the movie tie-in books. I really love the Underworld movies, guys. I'm a big nerd for them. So I hadn't heard about this one before. I'm guessing, wait, it says all new prequel. There is a prequel called Rise of the Lycans, and I have that book and the movie. I've not heard of this one before, so we'll see. Oh my God, this one was a big find. If I had only found this book during my whole trip, I would have been perfectly happy. So this is Fear of the Dark by Christopher Carr. It's one of the books in the Fun Facts horror series, which is a 90s horror series, kind of like Point Horror. I have most of the books, but I'm missing 2, or at least I was. Now I'm only missing 1 because I found one of the books I was missing. These tend to go for a lot of money on eBay, and I found it for $3.99, which is a really good deal for this. Oh my goodness, even more books here. Gosh, so many good books. This one's called A Royal Pain, and it's one of those Point books, Scholastic Point. So it's a young adult, more contemporary one. This is by Ellen Conford, who is an author I've heard great things about. I have quite a few of her books, and I saw this one and just had to grab it. So it's a first print from, I think, the 80s. This is another one that I passed up the last time I was here, and I've been regretting it. So this one is called All My Sins Remembered by Joe Haldeman. And I was just in love with this cover when I saw it the first time I was here. And yet I still put it back. I don't know why I did, but I have been regretting it. And finally, coming back here, I saw that they still had it. So I grabbed it up. It was only $2.99. It's in beautiful condition. It's like brand new. This is from 1978. And it's a first print of the paperback. I love this cover art. It's got like these weird faces down here. And this guy is like in agony, this alien. I don't know. It looks awesome, and I'm glad I was able to pick it up. I'm glad it hadn't sold or anything. Found a couple of these Vampire Files books here. This is book number 1, Bloodlust. So I finally have book 1, and book number 2, Lifeblood. I found a whole bunch of these recently at a Half Price Books, and they were all signed, but I was missing the first 2. So I just filled that gap in my collection. That makes me very happy. We have 2 more. This one is a Brian Keene, A Gathering of Crows. This is one of those leisure books from the early 2000s. This one's from 2010. So right at the end of Leisure's run. Heard a lot of good things about Brian Keene. Still have to read some of his books. So I grabbed that one. And then I finally found this frickin' book. This is Summer of Fear by Lois Duncan. I collect these editions of her books, and I had all of them but 2. So Summer of Fear is one of my favorite Lois Duncan books. It's a really great witch story, and I hadn't been able to find this edition. This one tends to be very expensive to get online. Finally found a copy of it. I'm so happy. So that means the only one that I'm missing right now is Daughters of Eve in this format. So there we go. Lots of books. I'm so glad I came here. So thank you guys for going on this little adventure with me into Half Price Books. I'm glad we found some good things. Definitely let me know if you've read any of these books. And I will see you guys very soon with another episode of Library Macabre. Later, creeps.